The situation around Love and Marriage Huntsville has reached a point where it can no longer be brushed off as a small pause or a normal production choice. The mid-season break coming at episode 8 is not something viewers are used to with the show. For years, the series delivered long seasons that allowed storylines to breathe, conflicts to build, and emotions to unfold naturally. This sudden stop is not just surprising, it feels alarming. When a show that once stood strong suddenly hits pause in the middle of its run, it raises serious questions about what is really happening behind the scenes. The most important truth in all of this is that the show feels different without Melody Shari. That is not an opinion formed out of blind loyalty, but a reality reflected in the energy of the episodes, the reactions online, and the numbers that matter most, the ratings. Melody was not just another cast member, she was the emotional center. Her presence gave weight to conversations, intensity to confrontations, and meaning to the drama. Without her, the show feels unbalanced, like something essential has been removed and never replaced. The announcement that episode 8 would act as a mid-season finale came from a local Instagram page, not directly from the network at first. That alone created confusion and frustration. Fans were left trying to understand how a show known for 15 to 20 episode seasons could suddenly stop so early. When people began asking questions, Carlos King stepped into the comments and firmly called the report fake. He used strong words in all caps, making it clear he wanted to shut the story down. But that confidence quickly collapsed when OWN itself confirmed the pause. That moment changed everything. Once the network spoke, the narrative shifted. It was no longer about rumors or fan speculation. It became about credibility. When a producer denies something and the network later confirms it, viewers are left wondering who knew what and when. That gap between what was said publicly and what was officially announced damaged trust. Loyal fans felt misled, and casual viewers became even more skeptical. In reality television, trust between the audience and production matters more than many people admit. Behind the scenes, it appears production has been struggling for weeks. Without Melody, storylines had to be reshaped, extended, or recycled. That struggle is visible on screen. Martell continues to revisit the same Arionne Curry situation that has already been explored multiple times in past seasons. What once felt raw and emotional now feels repeated and predictable. The tension that once made these moments gripping has faded, leaving scenes that feel more like obligation than organic drama. Maurice has tried to step into a bigger role this season. At times, his bold personality brings energy, and at other times it feels forced. Humor can only carry a scene so far when there is no emotional anchor holding the narrative together. Without Melody's grounded presence, even strong personalities struggle to create moments that truly stick with viewers. The result is inconsistency, where some scenes land and others fall flat. Leticia's role has quietly shrunk. Many viewers have noticed that her presence feels minimal, almost background. When fans start joking that other family members have more presence than a main cast member, it signals a problem in storytelling. Reality shows thrive when each cast member has a clear role and purpose. When that balance disappears, the audience notices immediately. Maurice and Kimmi continue to bring stability and maturity to the show. They offer reason, calm, and thoughtful conversation. While that balance is important in real life, reality television also depends on emotional stakes and conflict. Stability alone does not drive viral moments or weekly buzz. Without Melody balancing intensity and emotion, the calm moments now feel too quiet, not refreshing. The ratings tell a story that cannot be ignored. Numbers hovering around the low 200s are a far cry from the 4 to 500,000 viewers the show once attracted. These are not small dips. They are clear signs of audience loss. Minor fluctuations do not suggest recovery, they suggest curiosity. Viewers are tuning in to see what happens next, not because they are deeply invested anymore. A mid-season pause in this context feels less like a creative choice and more like a warning sign. Networks pause shows when they need time to rethink direction, fix problems, or decide next steps. This is not something done lightly, especially to a franchise that once served as a crown jewel. The pause suggests that the show is searching for its identity in a space it once dominated with ease. The denial of the pause only made the situation worse. Instead of calming fans, it fueled frustration. People felt gaslighted, as if their concerns were being dismissed. When viewers invest years into a show, they expect honesty. They understand change, but they do not appreciate being told something is fake when it turns out to be true days later. Social media reaction has been intense. Comment sections are filled with speculation, disappointment, and debate. Many fans believe the show cannot survive without Melody. Others argue that the cast needs time to adjust. But even those trying to stay hopeful admit the energy is gone. That shared feeling matters. Audience emotion often predicts a show's future before official decisions are made. Industry whispers suggest production has been struggling to create content that feels engaging. There are claims of last-minute shoots, forced conflicts, and attempts to stir drama where none naturally exists. When drama is manufactured instead of organic, viewers can tell. The lack of chemistry and emotional stakes become obvious, and the show loses authenticity. OWN now finds itself in a difficult position. The network has built its brand on reality shows that feel both dramatic and real. Publicly confirming a pause after a producer denial puts pressure on leadership. It also raises questions about long-term plans. Is the network buying time to rebuild, or is it testing whether the show can survive without its star? The contrast between Melody's success outside the show and the show's struggle without her is striking. While the series pauses and reworks, Melody continues to grow her brand and receive recognition. That comparison only strengthens the argument that she was central to the show's success. Her absence highlights just how fragile the franchise has become. Each new episode now feels like a test, not just for ratings, but for patience. Fans who once watched faithfully now debate whether it is worth continuing. Casual viewers watch out of curiosity, not loyalty. That shift is dangerous for any long-running reality series. The mid-season pause acts like a spotlight, exposing weaknesses that were once hidden by strong storytelling and emotional pull. Casting decisions, storyline direction, and leadership choices are now under scrutiny. Every move from here on out matters more than ever. The biggest question remains unanswered. Can Love and Marriage Huntsville truly move forward without Melody Shari? Can recycled drama and forced moments replace what she brought naturally? Or is this the pause the first step toward a quiet ending? As the countdown to the show's return continues, tension remains high. Fans are waiting, not with excitement, but with uncertainty. Every decision now will determine whether the show finds new footing or continues to slide. This is no longer just about one season, it's about legacy. A show that once defined a network now hangs in balance, and whether it survives or fades away will depend on whether it can rediscover the heart it lost. The future is unclear, the audience is divided, and the pressure is heavier than ever. One thing is certain, the story of Love and Marriage Huntsville has entered its most critical chapter yet, and every episode from this point forward will determine whether it rises again or becomes a cautionary tale in reality television history. The ratings reflect all of this. Numbers do not react to excuses or explanations. They respond to how viewers feel. A drop from nearly 500,000 viewers to the low 200s is not random. It is the result of a growing disconnect between what the show offers and what the audience wants. The mid-season pause forces everyone to confront this reality. It creates space to ask uncomfortable questions about leadership, creative direction, and long-term planning. Pauses can be opportunities, but they can also be signs of uncertainty. In this case, the silence feels heavy rather than hopeful. The public contradiction between Carlos King's comments and the network's confirmation only added fuel to the fire. Viewers expect honesty, especially from someone who built a reputation on transparency and bold confidence. When words and actions do not align, credibility suffers. Once credibility cracks, rebuilding trust becomes difficult. Social media has become the loudest mirror of the show's current state. Fans are no longer debating favorite scenes or memorable moments. They are debating whether the show should continue at all. That change in conversation matters. It shows a shift from passion to doubt. Speculation about behind-the-scenes chaos continues to grow. Claims of rushed storylines, forced conflicts, and last-minute decisions paint a picture of a production trying to hold itself together. Whether all of those claims are true or not, the fact that viewers believe them says a lot about how unstable the show feels. OWN now faces a difficult decision. The network must decide whether to invest in rebuilding or accept that the franchise may have reached its natural end. Testing how long the show can survive without its core is a risky move. Every delayed decision increases the chance of further audience loss. Meanwhile, Melody's success outside the show continues to highlight the gap. Her growth shows what the franchise lost. It also reminds viewers why they connected so deeply in the first place. That contrast is impossible to ignore and only strengthens the belief that her role was irreplaceable. Each remaining episode carries pressure, not just to entertain, but to prove that the show still has purpose. Viewers are watching closely, not with loyalty, but with judgment. That is not a comfortable position for any series to be in. The mid-season break has turned into a moment of truth. It exposes weaknesses that were once masked by strong personalities and emotional storytelling. Now, every flaw stands out more clearly. Casting, pacing, and narrative focus are all under a microscope. The future of Love and Marriage Huntsville depends on whether it can find a new center or acknowledge that the old one cannot be replaced. Recycling old drama will not work forever. Audiences crave growth, honesty, and emotional connection. As the show prepares to return, anticipation is mixed with skepticism. Fans want answers, not promises. They want authenticity, not denial. Whether those expectations can be met remains uncertain. One thing is clear, this is no longer just another season. It is a defining moment. The decisions made now will shape how the show is remembered, as a franchise that adapted and survived, or as one that refused to face reality until it was too late. The pause has given viewers time to reflect, and reflection often leads to clarity. That clarity may be uncomfortable, but it is necessary, because a show that once stood strong now finds itself at a crossroads, with its future hanging by a thread.